Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A. We go over all latest news that happened during the week of mobile and answer your questions live. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. So we had a lot of fun this week, just setting up, hoping that CES still stays intact. I do plan on covering CES. But we'll have to wait and see. I just don't know if it's happening anymore after everything that's going on, obviously with the new variant and everything. So we'll have to wait and see. But either way, let's go ahead and get to the news. So first bit of news today is new leaked images from the Galaxy S22 Ultra. And with this one, we have a lot of really good angles for it. I will say, again, I'm a big fan of the S21 Ultra. I love the design. I thought it was very good. I didn't think they really needed to change the design of the back. I thought that was fine. I just feel like they're changing the design for design's sake. So you know, oh, this is an S22 rather than it needing to change. Because I thought the design was good. But this is what the S22 Ultra looks like. And I have to say, I do like it. I do think it's sleek. I do think it's slick. I think, you know, obviously I've said this from the beginning, it takes inspiration at the very least from the LG Velvet. The LG Velvet was literally 3 cameras lined up like this. This one has a bit more cameras, but it's just something that, again, we are seeing with it. So these are some new images you can kind of see. I can't zoom in on it, but it does look like we have the volume up top and the power button underneath. I want one way of having power and volume. I wish that this would just be standard across the board, namely with Samsung, Oppo, and Google. I think those 3, OnePlus is included in that, should just standardize what we are going to get. Like, it really is something that I would love to see, but again, we'll have to wait and see how it really goes. Overall, I'm very curious. We still have that hole punch, still have those curved displays on there, and then we have a little bit more shots of it right over here. And we don't have, I was trying to see if they had that hole underneath this side for the pen, but I did not see it up top, or that's on the top of it. But yeah, so you can kind of see how it looks like compared to the Note 20 Ultra. Basically the same size it looks like, side by side to it. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this. There's that little hole you can see for the pen, which again is kind of weird. Why would the pen be on the left side? It makes more sense to be on the right side. Oh, that's why. It's the opposite side of the cameras. So to make it probably that length, they need to make it the opposite side so they can have the battery be enough. So yeah, that's an annoyance though, because you know, you typically want the pen on the right side. Can we move the cameras over? Can we move the cameras on the other side? I don't know. But yeah, so that is what it's looking like. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like the design of this phone? Do you think that it's same old, same old? Does it even matter? Let me know your guys' thoughts on it. Okay, so besides that, we are also getting some differences in the camera. So first off, the biggest difference it looks like we're going to be getting in the camera is a lot of AI stuff. So there's supposed to be a huge improvement when it comes to AI technology on the cameras, meaning that we're going to get better quality overall with these cameras in terms of many different aspects. But the biggest one is definitely going to be in video. For stabilization, it is supposed to have a huge improvement on stabilization, 4 times as good as stabilization compared to the S21 Ultra. So that's a huge improvement. I mean, we are gonna get a much better version of it. So we'll have to wait and see how it does. Very curious overall to see how much better it will be, but we'll have to wait and see how it goes when it comes to video stabilization. Stabilization overall is going to be 58%, so that will be good too. So again, really good that we should get clear shots, which is always, of course, a good thing. Then we go to something else, and that is talking about what is going to happen with this camera. So it was debunked that this camera was going to get the 200 megapixel sensor that Samsung has been working on. That is going to be moved over to 2023. So we're going to have a huge megapixel increase on 2023, should lead to more detail and probably a much bigger sensor too, to correct everything that we need correcting. However, what this iteration is going to be, it's going to be the fourth version of this 108 megapixel sensor. So what we're going to get in this version is going to be better details, better color, and better low light or better noise compression in comparison to the last version on the S21. So that's good. I mean, we're going to get better and better, but again, the main kind of thing I worry about is that this is all happening to the main sensor and we're still getting the same old wide angle camera for what, 4 years now, 3 years now, something like that. We're getting the same wide angle camera. I want an improved wide angle camera. I think that's one thing that Samsung really needs to work on. And also we're getting it looks like as of right now, we're getting the same telephoto camera that we got on the current gen, basically S22 Ultra. Now I will say that camera is great. There's not too much to complain about with that camera. However, it does need to still improve on the noise that happens at night. So hopefully software will improve that. I will say that my Google Pixel 6 Pro with a 4x optical lens honestly does just as good, if not better than it when it comes to text in mid light. And in low light, it honestly usually does better. So again, that is saying something for the fact that Samsung still does better, I think, in overall shapes and like the clarity of something. But when text, it's Google's image processing that really kind of beats it there. And that's what I think Samsung is hopefully working on this time around with this new sensor. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes. All right, who likes dessert? Who likes tiramisu? Because that is going to be the new version of Android. Android 13 will be known as Android Tiramisu. Yes, behind the scenes, they still go by desserts, even though that's not in the current gen stuff. Yes, although we're not getting tiramisu out in the open and we're referring to it as Android 13, it still always happens in the background, so it's just something you should know. Okay, so that being said, tiramisu, we're getting the first images of it, supposedly. Now I say supposedly because this is an early leak, of course, and everything of that nature, but this also looks like it's for a specific kind of device, especially when you look at the bottom right here. This dock is something we've never seen before. And it's interesting, I will say, because this might be getting inspiration from the wildly beloved feature that the Fold has, which is when you dock your side buttons, you can actually have a nice little dock for all of your split screen features and all of your recent apps. So it's a possibility actually that this can go to Android 13. And this is the best kind of ripping off software that I love, because this really moves the needle forward. Samsung invented something that really did well. To be fair, they didn't invent it. This has been through a lot of apps, but they baked it in with this. And that is awesome. That is like, if we now have a dock, kind of like Windows does and Apple does, on the bottom of our phones, I think productivity people will love it. Now, I think that is the only reason why it would be that small. I mean, you see this, how tiny this is. It's very small. So if we have 10 apps down here that you can quickly go to, but not only apps, if they're tasks, like possibly if you make a lot of appointments and one of them is an icon to create a new calendar appointment, just a one touch button to do that. That's awesome. If you have a split screen, like I always have YouTube and Google Maps a split screen. If I have that down there, boom, that's perfection. Like that gets me so excited for a new version of Android to make that standardized across the board. Again, this is an idea that I am having for this. It is not what is yet suspected, but that is really cool if it happens. Then we have the lock screen. Again, this is a very unique phone or device, that the resolution of this, because it looks more kind of like a tablet than a phone. So again, if they're catering more towards that market, then great. It's about time that we not only cater to foldables, but also tablets on Android. I think that would be a huge update and one that I would really love. So let me know what you guys think about this. Do you guys like the idea of possibly getting a lot more, getting like a full-fledged operating system dock on the bottom of your phone instead of 5 big icons like we've had since the beginning of Android? Well, we had 4 icons, now we have 5 for the most part. Let me know what you guys think, but I am excited of the possibilities that this can lead to, at least. All right, and the last bit of news is just something really simple, and that is that it looks like the Razr 3 is still due this year. Remember, Moto decided to skip the Razr 3 in the last year because of the fact that it just wasn't time for them to invest that kind of money when they didn't think many people would be buying it during 2020 and 2021. So, that being said, since we didn't get it in 2021, now in 2022, it still looks like it's going to happen. And it looks like we will have a bigger screen on the inside. So it will be a much bigger display on the inside. And it really is going to have some differences overall in terms of the engineering. The hinge is supposed to be a lot different. We'll have to wait and see what else comes with it, but it's supposed to make some major changes. But what can it really do unless it definitely meets the Flip 3 at the same price point, which I don't know if it can. Like, can it? Can Moto price it so that it's $1,000? I mean, the Flip 3 being $1,000, I thought was the best deal of the year, quite frankly. When it came to just everything that it offered for that price point, I thought the Flip 3 was the best deal of the year. If you wanted a foldable, you can now get one for $1,000. Razr's last time around, it was $1,400. And that was with the Snapdragon 765. So they had lower specs and were a lot more money. I just don't know if Razr will be able to match it. I really don't. For $400 difference, I don't know if they make the profit margin enough to come anywhere near it. And they're gonna have to if they stand a chance. Ideally, Razr would be $950, $900 for their foldable to compete with Samsung Flip 3 at $1,000. What will they do? I really want to see what happens. Let me know what you guys think. I'm very curious to see how this evolves and how foldables become more and more affordable as the years go on. All right, guys, that was the news. Now let's get to your questions. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I'll answer it before the end of the show. How was your Christmas, everyone? Mine was really nice. I got to spend time with family, both mine and my wife's side. It was always nice. And yeah, I have a shoot tomorrow that I'm doing with Newegg, so excited about that. If you guys like NASCAR and simulated driving, it should be definitely something fun to tune into. So yeah, I really got to play around with a lot and very excited to see just how this partnership keeps evolving and how it really can change my course in 2022, and see all the different possibilities allotted. What can I do overall? I'm charging Ricky for making me wait. I am so sorry for making you wait. It happens sometimes. I am setting up for tomorrow's shoot, so I have been getting a new gimbal ready to do some B-roll, which I will also be using hopefully at CES, and a slider. So just all this kind of stuff. I really am trying to get the products to make all footage that I shoot and am involved with a better quality, and hopefully you'll see that grow in 2022 as I continue to do more and more things this year in terms of bettering the quality while still giving you all the main videos that you want and need. So we're getting a red burgundy S22. I'm ready to upgrade from my Note 9 already. It's interesting. So I've seen 3 definite colors from what it sounds like, and that is a black, a white, and a green. And then there's been instances of burgundy. Here's the thing. The US gets 2 of them, 1 of them, or 3 of them, typically. So I do not think we'll get 4. If we do, great. But typically what Samsung does is they launch fewer colors in the US, the most colors in Korea, and even less colors in Europe and other places. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes. I'm very curious to see what colors each country gets and everything. But what Samsung is notorious for, of course, is bringing out new colors after time. Typically, we get a spring release of a new color. So, you know, around April, May, June, we're gonna have at least 1 new color by then. And then we'll probably have another color come September and another color come November. It's typically what happens. We'll have to wait and see if that tradition lasts. Obviously, if supply chains allow it, that's going to be the main thing overall, I would say, by the end of next year. Because obviously this year they had to cut back on that a little bit. I think we only got 1 to 2 additional colors throughout the year. But yeah. That is typically how it goes. The Ultra, though, usually gets the least amount, especially if you get the higher capacity. Typically, unfortunately, I will say most times I've gotten the higher capacity. You can get it in any color you want, as long as it's black. Hope you get to have Tech Miss in CES. I hope so too. If you haven't heard, because of the new variant, CES, the biggest electronics show of the year, has had a lot of cancellations. Now, I'm not going to get into any political stuff here, so please don't start, saying whatever you believe about that kind of stuff in the comment section. Just letting you know what I think is happening in terms of why I don't think it will cancel, but we'll have to wait and see. So first of all, most of the companies that have canceled are B2B companies. Companies that don't care about consumer facing or announcing new consumer products. They're mostly B2B companies. In terms of things like T-Mobile, in terms of AT&T, those are all business companies for the most part. So we're not really too invested in those. The 2 big ones that recently pulled out were a little bit more consumer facing in the Google and Intel. Intel might announce something new processor wise. AMD is still going to announce something at CES, so they are still going as of right now, and they said they will be announcing something. Samsung has reiterated that they're going as of last week. So it's very interesting to see, again, if this will happen. Now, full disclosure, I'm guessing here. I'm not saying that I know the inner workings of CES and CITA, which is the parent company that puts on CES. But if I had to suspect why it has not been canceled after people pulling out, my guess is easily this. I do not think they can get their money back. I think that the company has basically said, well, we can't get our money back, so we're still going to put it on. And if you're wondering Well, what's happening? Why aren't some manufacturers maybe not pulling out? They're probably weighing the pros and cons as well in terms of not being able to get their money back if they have a big, huge booth at CES compared to canceling all of the people that they're sending there and, you know, yada, 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 all that kind of stuff. I do hope everyone stays safe. I hope they run with a skeleton crew. I hope that they really don't send that many people, and most companies don't send that many people. And that way it will be a much easier going CES. But that's why I don't believe it will cancel. If that's a good reason or a bad reason, I think it's a whole nother issue, and it could be definitely debated in a public forum that's not here. So that's why I believe it's not going to be canceled overall. We'll have to wait and see. But it is next week. So literally next Monday, I would be driving there. So I'll have to wait and see if that happens. Very curious. And if it does, we'll have so much coverage on all these new products. LG has a really cool monitor that's very tall, so that you can fit two 16:9s on top of each other, which I think is amazing, because if you can actually get two of those, put them side by side, you have like 4 perfect big size screens. And that just sounds amazing. So yeah, I'm very curious to see how this will all go. But LG has a really cool thing. I forgot who announced it, but some other company announced like a dock OLED. It might be LG as well. But like all these companies are really, you know, they show all these really cool, innovative things, first looks and all that kind of stuff. So we'll have to wait and see if that happens, but very curious. I'm more concerned, to be quite honest, if Samsung Unpacked then will be canceled live in San Francisco. So typically in mid-February is when Samsung Unpacked is going to happen this year. And typically, except for, actually, no, I take that back. Last year, they did still have Samsung Unpacked because it was early 2020. So that was literally, we were getting scanned because it was barely, everything was barely starting. So I remember that we were getting scanned and all that kind of stuff was happening, but I was able to go and it was fine. So because that happened though, right, that happened, then it was like, okay, so then everything else happened in the world, and the Fold 3 was all digital. That's all it was. So this year we expected to go back to being in person, but we don't know if it's going to happen. My guess is if everything keeps going obviously downward, then we're going to be digital. If it doesn't, then we're going to be in person. So I hope Samsung Unpacked is in person. We'll have to wait and see if it is. But the reason why I would hope so is because, as you know, I don't typically get the device very early. I have to wait as everyone else does. So the sad part is that if I don't get to go, bigger YouTubers are gonna get the product no matter what. But unfortunately, smaller YouTubers that are under 1 million subs will probably not get to go then. So we'll have to wait and see how all this folds out or unfolds. But yeah, so really kind of curious. But that's all the updates for the tech announcements that could be coming in the next week and in the next month. All right. The wait. Pen on the left, sounds odd. I suppose I can get used to it. Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit used to getting used to. The camera reminds me of my sweater, so it's like buttons. If I can get one in green or red, I'm in. If not, I'll stick to the Note 10 Plus as it's paid for. Hey, not a bad way to think, and I'm very curious to see again how much better of a quality this is, because I will say the camera on this Pixel is so good that I'm very curious to see what can beat it. All right. When do you think the Galaxy 4 Classic will get Google Assistant? Thank you. That is a very good question. There was a way to sideload it, and I haven't seen that video yet. It's on my watch later list, so I have it queued up and ready to go. I just have not had time to see it, so hopefully I will get to see it this week. I have 4 videos coming out this week. So we will get down to some that I promised, including, I believe, January 1st is going to mark the day. I know it's late. Possibly, maybe. You know what? I'm going to try to commit to get it up by the 31st. But the top 10 smartphones of 2021, I will try to get that video up by the 31st, so it actually makes sense. But if not, I'm going to get it up by January 31st. And yeah, those are some videos. Again, a lot of videos that were backlogged are now coming out. So very happy to finally get some of those out. I want my cake and eat it too. LOL. I think we all do, right? When it comes to this. Oh yeah, so the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic, if I had to say when I think it's gonna come, I think it has a good shot of coming in February or March. With the new announcement of the new phones, I think it would be a good way to kind of like, oh, and plus we have this going. Hopefully, but we'll have to wait and see. The Android desserts, it's been a while. I know, right? I have a blue Note 10. Better get the green S22U, LOL, or I'm going to be pissed. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what colors it does come in. I would love to get the green. You guys know me. I've wanted a green phone, and that's what I want to go for. Does everyone know what happened to everything Apple Pro? No. Did they get like a strike or something? Are they not around? So I'm seeing a video that basically it's just everything Apple Pro EAP. Is that not the normal one? I don't follow them, so I'm not sure. But I see some videos that say what happened to them. But yeah, right now I see everything Apple Pro EAP. So I'm not sure if that's the original or not, but yeah, it's 8 million subscribers, so I'm guessing it's the original. Just today I started using Samsung Good Lock Theme Park Modular, and it's amazing. Like other modulars, I was using a Hex installer, got it, and it was nice. Samsung is now blocking overlays, so Good Lock is amazing. Yeah, Good Lock is absolutely amazing. I didn't know that Samsung was blocking overlays, but I just used Good Lock for so long that it's just the best. Can you browse the web with the Google Nest Hub? How about Amazon's Echo Show? No, you can like ask Google questions and it'll give you like the top results. I believe you can even click on a link and it'll open it as a basic web page, but then you can't go further than that. But that's about it in Google. I have not used an Alexa with a bigger screen than the 5-inch model, the 5-inch one. I know you can't web browse. So no, they're not really made for that. They're really made more for answering questions and giving you a brief overview of more, I don't want to say irrelevant stuff, but like quick answering items. I wonder if Samsung can make a better version of the wall TVs. Oh, you know they do. Every year there's a new wall. So I guarantee you there will be a new wall this year. And probably the way things are going, I dare say that they're going to have like a new QLED TV that goes up to like 100 inches or something like that. Right now, I think Samsung's biggest TV is 88 inches. And it seems to be most manufacturers are pushing around 100-inch TV for bragging rights, so we'll have to wait and see. Hello everyone, first time here. Well, hey Jeannie, welcome, and hopefully you continue to be here. I answer any questions as best I can for you guys to join. What are your thoughts on the Tesla phone? I did not hear that Tesla was making a phone, so that is news to me. So let's see this. Again, I've not heard anything about this. So it's a rumor, it seems like, and people are making concepts on it. And it's supposed to be about Pi. I mean, we'll see. I don't see what they... I guess my biggest thing is what can they bring different to the mobile industry? You know, they have done a lot with AI. They've have a lot of processing ingenuity. So we'll have to wait and see, but it looks like it's all concept right now. So if something does happen, we'll have to wait and see how that goes. If 50 First Date Questions was a lantern, just go with it. What color would the lantern be? Quiet Storm, you've done better shameless plugs. You're tired tonight. But I will nonetheless, of course, mention my shameless plug, and that is 50 First Date Questions is a game that I created that I would love you to download. It is a simple dating app game that you can do on a first date or on a date when your significant other if you just want to spend some time finding out about each other, finding out what's changed, what's your hope and wishes, or if it's a first date, finding out if you're compatible. This is a simple dating app where you ask them a question, they ask you a question, and you find out about each other. You can download it on the Google Play Store or Apple App Store, free in the link in the description down below. Yes, you're referring to Green Lantern. I get it. Did you see the news of Samsung moving to Fuchsia, and apparently they will have a big hand in the development of it? Yes, I did. I didn't really mention it because at this point, it is purely a rumor. And as they said, this would not be happening for like 3 to 5 years. So it's not something that's changing right away, but very interesting, of course, if it is the biggest hardware manufacturer and the biggest software manufacturers in the world really coming together to make something that they both agree on and that they both will have a hand in. That is so good for so many reasons. Of course, some people will be upset about it because it is increasing to be a duopoly when it comes to Android now that Huawei's been kind of wiped out and we're waiting to see what happens with Oppo and Xiaomi. But in the US at least, Huawei's gone. Even in Europe, really, it's gone. So anywhere outside China, Huawei is no longer a big name as of the end of 2021. However, we'll have to see, again, is the same thing going to happen with Xiaomi? Is this going to happen with Oppo? As of right now, there's no indication that it would, but it definitely could happen. So we'll have to wait to see what happens to them. But if same kind of sanctions and all that kind of stuff, again, we don't want to get into anything political, but if any of those things happen to deter the growth of Xiaomi and Oppo, you really could have a duopoly with just Google and Samsung and Android. I don't like that because that obviously will kind of stifle innovation. So I hope that, Oppo and Xiaomi will continue to get bigger in the US and in Europe and in other markets. But we'll have to wait and see. Let's see. Happy holidays, Rob. Thank you so much, R. Rawson, for wishing me happy holidays. Happy holidays to you and your family as well. And let me see. I want to put this so where you would get it, R. Rawson. You need to talk to my wife about the card that you and Dom gave me because it's been taken away and even her family said I should get it back, but you know, life just isn't budging. So, you know, hopefully you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's just something inside joke between me and you. Let's see. Mike, the new Google Nest Hubs are updated to Fuchsia. Yes, that's true. The new ones are updated to Fuchsia. So we have that on the current Nest Hub. Nest Hub Max is going to be getting it soon. They've already done their internal beta testing. So the Nest Hub Max is the next one to get it, and that is scheduled for 2022. So Nest Hub Max is the next one that's going to be a Fuchsia. The good or bad thing is that like I have a Nest Hub right in front of me. Don't know any difference. Don't know any difference from it going to Fuchsia. It's like, it's the littlest things, and that just could be a regular update. But yeah, that's just one thing that, man, it's one thing that, like, it's hard to get excited about Fuchsia when we don't know what it has to offer as much. We know the possibilities, a fusion of Android and Chrome sounds great, but because it went to those things, I'm kind of like, well, what's it gonna happen? All right, Tesla phone can be solar powered, forget batteries, go green, lantern style. Yeah, no, I think that would be really cool to see a solar powered phone. We have had ones from CAT phones that are construction working phones. They have been solar powered on the back, but obviously solar power only will get you so far if you're not outside. So it depends on the phone manufacturer, and typically makes it bulkier. So I'm very curious to see how it will go, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see for sure. Let's see what else. When is the Rigsby phone coming out? The world isn't ready for the Rigsby phone. I blame it on the Christmas pie. Christmas pie? I did not have Christmas pie. As you guys know, I've been losing weight. I got down to 15 pounds. I feel like I might have put on a pound or two over the last 2 days. Had obviously Christmas food, and I had popcorn today because I went to go see Spider-Man again with the wife, and man, popcorn, like, if the person I was competing against in the weight loss competition knew how much popcorn got to me, I'd be so screwed. Like, popcorn is one of those things where it's so hard for me to turn down. So yeah, hopefully I will make, I don't know if I'll hit 20 pounds now by the end of this week, which was my original goal at the end of a month to go down 20 pounds. But I did make it to 15, and hopefully I'll finish at 17 or 18. But I'll let you guys know on next week's show what I got down to at the end of the month for weight loss. Let's see. How much would it cost to call from Mars to Earth on Starlink? I don't know what that search charge would be, but it would be very interesting. So yeah. Just revived my Pixel 4 XL. Missed it. I love the Pixel is really fun, and it's just definitely fun to always use. Okay, I'll message wifey. Thank you, sir. Oh, hey, R. Rawson. Thank you so much for the super chat donation. What phone should I upgrade to? And congrats on the weight loss. New goals for 2022. What phone do you have right now? Actually, I've lost track of which phone you last have. Are you still with the Note, or do you upgrade to another one? I would say right now, as of right now, I think the next phone that I would probably recommend most people upgrade to is going to be the S22 Ultra. It just seems to kind of have the best of everything. It's basically going to be a new Note by a different name. So that's the phone I'm kind of leaning towards for most people. I will say the Pixel is probably the best phone at the end of this year for battery life and camera. So with it goes to that, I would say that. But so yeah, you have the S10. Did you have the S10 Plus or the regular S10, bigger screen or regular size screen? Basically, so because of regular S10, I think, you know, the S22, the regular S22 will be a huge upgrade because it's the first phone in that price bracket that's going to actually get a much better camera than the last 2 years. The last 2 years have basically been the same cameras from the S20 to the S21, same exact camera that's been going now. But the S22 will be a whole new set of cameras for that series. So every S22, the S22, S22 Plus, and S22 Ultra will all be better cameras than the S21 series and the S20 series. That is probably the biggest upgrade for each of those phones, is to have much better cameras. The biggest upgrade for the S22 Ultra will also be, though, the inclusion of an internal S Pen, and that is something that a lot of people have been waiting for. Regular S10, that about the Flip though. So really, when it comes to the Flip, again, it's a great phone. I got it for my mom for Christmas or her birthday, or just maybe I just got it for her. But it was one phone that like I knew she had liked, so it was really something that I thought she would really like. So she or no, sorry, that's what happened. I got her, me and my brother got her, I think for Mother's Day or something like that. We got her the S21. So to trade in the S21 for the Flip, it was like $200 to $300. So it was an easy move for her to trade in towards that. When it first came out, the trade in was huge. So yeah, so I think that the Flip is really cool. If you just want a statement, get the Flip. And that will have the same cameras though as the S20, which I think might be around the same cameras he had, maybe a little bit better in low light and processing. So very similar, but it just have that you're just gonna have that statement phone that like, oh wait, let me say goodbye, click, like you have that kind of thing. So that's really where the Flip shines. I have the first gen Google Nest Hub, no difference also. Yeah, it really is just no difference in them. Six-pack rigs becoming. Oh, I'm a long way from a six-pack for sure. I have an iPhone 12 mini. Cool. Or did someone ask that? Or, sorry, but yeah, that's awesome. The minis might be going away, and I think a lot of people are going to be upset by that. Supposedly the 13 mini was the last mini. Apple's done with them. We'll have to wait and see if that's true, but that's what apparently is going to happen. I really feel like he's taken my soul. So S22 it is. Just bought the iPhone 13 Pro Max, or wait for the iPhone 14 Pro Max. I think if you want an iPhone, obviously the iPhone 13. I don't really think you need the Max, to be honest. Like my boss got the iPhone 13 Pro. Huge upgrade from his, like, I think he had the iPhone 10 or 11 and the regular one. So the Pro was like a huge upgrade in battery life and a huge upgrade in the camera quality. I don't think you really need to be quite honest to get the Max, unless you just want the bigger screen. But in terms of battery life, there's not much difference between the Pro and the Pro Max. So it's just the screen size you want, to be honest. I was using the S21 Ultra, playing with Android 12. Disappointed with the upgrade on the S21. Android 12 experience on the Pixel 4 XL, perfect. Interesting, and it depends on what features you like, because I don't like every feature on the newest version of Android on Android 12. It still hasn't come to the fold, and we don't expect it till probably the next time around. But I do not like this thing. I do not like this grid. I much prefer this. Being able to have more icons is way more beneficial to me than having it be huge icons. So again, there's things I like about Android 12 and things I don't like. So I think it all depends on the user as well. I like the material design kind of stuff. I do like that I don't have to kind of change it. Once I change my wallpaper, it kind of changes everything. But there's certain things that I would take and not take from it. Samsung's still holding back One UI 4 release on the Fold 3 and Flip 3. Why? Possibly because I honestly could see that they are waiting for the next version of Android, which is not Android 12, but Android 12L. Android 12L is supposed to be designed more for the foldable and tablets. So it's not an update you're going to see on regular Android smartphones, but you're going to see them on tablets and foldable devices. So I have a feeling that might be why. Could obviously be not laziness on Samsung's part, but definitely just like, oh, well, we'll just release it once we have a new S22 Ultra. That is far more likely, I think. But possibility is the other one. Thank you, such a great show. Merry After Eve. Yes, so yeah, guys, Merry Christmas for sure for everyone that celebrated. And yeah, next time I am coming to you, it will be a new year. So this is the last show of 2021. We will start off the new year on January 2nd with a show right before, hopefully, I disembark for CES on the 3rd. But we'll have to wait and see. Thank you guys always so much for watching. Make sure to hit a like, thumbs up if you can before you leave. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.
Thank you so much again for watching. Make sure